Hirilal was hardly 10 years old when he lost both his parents. They were struck by lightning as they were working in the fields. They were in the employ of a zamandar who took pity on the little boy. He now began to live with the zamandar's family, who gave him food and a corner in their large house to sleep. The zamandar's wife, though a kind lady, however, did not fail to take work from him. He was given all kinds of chores to do. He did not mind attending to whatever work was entrusted to him. After all, he was given food 3 times a day, and he could rest whenever the family rested. So, he did not grumble. After 2 years, the zamandar found Hirilal had grown sturdy and thought he could be more usefully employed on the farm where he had engaged 2 laborers after the tragic death of Hirilal's parents. He dispensed with the services of one laborer and asked Hirilal to help the other. The boy now found that he had to work from morning till evening without any rest. Except when he was eating his lunch packed and given to him by the zamandar's wife before he left the house in the morning. The other farmhand was a lazy fellow, and every now and then, he would go and sit down in the shade of a big tree to chew pan that he carried with him. As days went by, the man would also lie down and sleep for a while after ensuring that Hirilal continued with his work. He thought it would not be prudent to complain to his master about the farmhand. But he decided that he would not continue to stay with the zamandar and work on the farm. He would go somewhere else and live on his own. So, one fine morning, he made a bundle of his clothes and presented himself before the zamandar. He was surprised to see Hirilal not in the usual dress he put on when he went for work on the farm. He also noticed the bundle slung across the boy's shoulders. "What's happening? Where are you off to, Hirilal?" he queried with some anxiety. The anxiety was over his doubt how he would find a substitute to work on his farm. "Babuji, I'm grateful to you for looking after me for the last 5 years. Now I must look after myself. I shall never forget whatever you've done for me." "That's all right, Hirilal, but tell me, where are you going?" asked the zamandar, controlling his shock and disappointment. "Sir, I wish to go to Benares and find some work there. I'm told Benares is a big place, bigger than this village, and finding work will not be difficult." "But, Hirilal, don't you know Benares is a long way off?" the zamandar tried to remind him. "You'll take many days to reach there. How will you manage till then?" "I've thought of that, Babuji," said Hirilal. "You can help me by giving my wages of the last 5 years." The zamandar was taken aback for a few moments. He wanted time to think. "But, are you sure you want to go away from here?" "Yes, master, I've made up my mind." Hirilal sounded quite resolute. "All right, then," said the zamandar. "As you wish." He then went inside and came back with 5 silver coins. "Take these coins, 1 for each year of your service. Go, if you must, but remember, you can always come back if ever you wish to," said the zamandar. Hirilal wondered. 5 silver coins were too little compared to the kind of chores he had done in the zamandar's household for 2 years and the work he did on the farm for 3 years. However, he decided not to argue or bargain, now that he had decided to leave the zamandar's service once and for all. He thanked the zamandar, took leave of him with folded hands, and was about to step out when the zamandar's wife came out with the usual lunch parcel. "Here, take this, Harilal, you won't feel hungry for a day." Harilal bowed low, looked at her face with gratitude, and silently moved out. He did not feel sorry that he was leaving the comforts of the zamandar's house. The boy walked and walked, without any idea for how many days he would have to walk before he reached Benares. He had heard a lot about that big city, where he decided his fortunes lay. Towards dusk, he felt tired. He searched and found a place beneath a huge banyan tree where he could stretch his legs and sleep. A few steps away he found an old man already lying down, trying to get some sleep. He had matted hair, which he had tied up in a knot on his head. He was wearing clothes torn all over. On seeing the boy, he got up and struck a conversation. Harilal was soon pouring out his story and telling him of his ambition to find work in Benares. A faint smile came over the old man's face. "Son, at last you've come. I was all the while waiting to share my wisdom with you." The word share reminded Harilal of the packet of food the kind-hearted wife of the zamandar had given him. He now brought it out and offered a part of the food to the old man. As the two ate, Harilal wondered what kind of wisdom his new-found guru would impart to him. "You're weary after a long walk and you need rest," said the old man. "I shall impart wisdom to you when you're fresh in the morning." He lay down and was soon asleep. Harilal went back to where he had left his bundle. Soon he was also fast asleep. Next morning he and the old man sat together for a long time when the latter told him of his own experiences and what made him renounce the world and all worldly things. "My only possession now is this," he said as he pulled out from his bag a flute made of sandal wood. He gave it to Harilal. The boy took the flute in his hands and said, "But I don't know how to play, O wise one." "Ah! I haven't yet told you about it," responded the old man. "You've only to blow into it, and the flute will bring out music. Anyone who listens to the music will start dancing, that's the power of its music. But don't call it a magic flute, for it cannot perform any other magic. Anyone who starts dancing will stop only when you stop blowing. And he would then want to offer something in return for the joy the music provided. Thus the flute will take care of your needs." Harilal prostrated himself before the old man, took his blessings and started on his way. Suddenly he heard a birdsong, and he was tempted to play the flute. He did not know someone was listening to the flute, till he saw a man looking like a ruffian get up and dance to the tunes that floated from the flute. The boy was excited and continued to blow into the flute, and the man, now looking not so fearsome, went on dancing. Soon, he appeared exhausted from dancing and Harilal stopped playing. The man walked up to Harilal and hugged the boy. "I've never felt such peace in my life. Take all these jewels." He opened a bundle and Harilal saw glittering necklaces, bangles, rings and studs. "I'm a robber," the man said, "and I had taken these from several houses. I've decided to leave thieving and I don't have any use for them. So, you may take them. You'll find them useful." Without waiting for any response from the boy, he pushed the bundle into his hands and ran away. Harilal stood still for some time till he moved away from the place. He put back the wealth that came to him so unexpectedly in his bundle and secured it safe. And he moved forward. Unfortunately, Harilal was too young to know that the robber, like the legendary leopard and never wanting to change its spots, would not keep quiet for long. As he ran away from the boy, he was furiously contemplating how he would retrieve his loot from the flute-playing youngster. He first thought of stealing the flute itself. But he did not know how to play a flute. No, he should only try to deprive the boy of the jewels. And it should not look like another robbery. By now he had reached the next village. He disguised himself as a merchant and went straight to the village chief, the Sarpanch. He cooked up a story and ended his narration saying, "This chit of a boy thus tricked me and stole my jewels. I'm ruined." He managed to bring out some crocodile tears which trickled down his cheeks. "Don't worry, my good friend," assured the village chief, "the boy cannot avoid going through this village. We will apprehend him when he comes here." He then arranged for some stout and strong villagers to catch hold of the boy and take him to the Sarpanch. Hirilal saw a crowd even at the entrance to the village. He was surprised, but his surprise soon gave into shock when he saw that some of them were also armed with sticks and spears. He realized that any resistance was out of the question, so he meekly allowed himself to be tied by his hands and almost dragged to the presence of the village chief. "What have I done, sir?" asked Hirilal, humbly. "As if you don't know," said the Sarpanch with a sneer. "Here's my friend whom you have robbed. Where are his jewels? Take them out." "I shall, but first let my hands be free," said Hirilal boldly. The villagers untied his hands. Once they were free, the boy first pulled out the flute and began blowing into it. Out came some haunting music and everybody in the courtyard, including the Sarpanch and the man posing as the village chief's friend, began to dance. The latter managed to howl, "No, don't allow him to play the flute. He'll never stop." The Sarpanch did not understand what the man meant. Had he met the boy earlier? Otherwise, how did he know about the boy's flute? Meanwhile, more villagers had been attracted by the enchanting music and they all came and joined the crowd in dancing. Hirilal continued to blow, and blow hard he did. He expected the robber, whom he had recognized by now, to make the next move. "Stop, please. Stop," he cried aloud. "Let me confess to my crime." Hirilal took his lips off the flute. The robber waited till his panting stopped and then blurted out, "He's not a thief. I'm the one who robbed people of their jewels. What he has in his bag is the loot I gave to him to make him stop playing the flute. He has already punished me and I don't want any of you to be punished." The Sarpanch heaved a great sigh of relief. By then Hirilal had pulled out the bag of jewels given to him by the robber before he ran away from him. The boy placed it before the Sarpanch and said, "He promised to stop thieving before he pushed the bag into my hands. Make him promise again in front of all of you that he would turn a new leaf in his life." The robber took a solemn promise. The Sarpanch told him, "We are now allowing you to go free, but see that you are not caught red-handed." The crowd just waited to see him disappear from view when they cheered Hirilal. "You're our hero. Please remain with us in this village forever." The Sarpanch then said, "Come on, Hirilal. You must first share our food. We shall later fix up a place for your stay here." Hirilal was happy, as there was now no question of his finding a weary way to Benares.